Hey Steve, what's happening, man? You're the first one here. Happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. I'm not even sure anymore. How's it going, man? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of what made me decide to do this today. I finished that one and I'm getting ready to start another one, and I just thought we'd have a little chat about some 3D stuff. If anybody becomes interested and comes on, it's kind of impromptu. I just sort of threw this together today, but I haven't done it for a while, so we'll see if anybody pops in. The dog's gonna make noise because it hears me talking. She's like, "Who are you talking to, Dad?" We may not get anybody here today, Steve. Oh, you know what? I kind of thought the same thing, and I was kind of dragged down the rabbit hole by George and Harry, but I'm actually glad. It's not as hard as everybody thinks it is, and it's once you learn a few things, it's pretty rewarding as far as making your own stuff. Yeah, I'm really enjoying coming up with things that nobody else is doing, or anything. A lot of just purchasing of other people's files and printing them, but not too much as far as creating new stuff. And medical offices. Everything okay? If you don't mind my asking. Yeah, it's very fun, very rewarding. I was hoping some guys would pop on today. I was wanting to talk about these interior trays. I know a lot of guys are building cars for the showdown, so I just wanted to show them. Well, that sucks, Steve. I hope everything's all right, man. I know the feeling, though. I've had some medical issues here in the last month or so too myself. Been just dealing with it. When we get older, it's what happens, I guess. Especially with somebody like me, I've never really taken care of myself very well. I've always been live in the moment, and sort of probably shouldn't have done some of the things I've done in my life, but I did. And yeah, now I'm older. I'm 60 now, so paying for it. No, nothing serious. Same with you, man. I hope it's nothing serious either. It's not anything crazy. It's just normal getting old stuff, arthritis, and had some stomach issues. And right now I'm dealing with plantar fasciitis really bad. It's hard for me to walk. Apparently there's not much I can do about it except do exercises and things, but yeah, just normal aging crap. 70. Wow. Yeah. My wife is texting me. Let's better check and see what she's wanting from me. Oh. Slightly mad. How you doing, man? Yeah, thanks, Steve. I'll show it a little more in depth here. I'm just waiting to see if anybody's straggling in. Gonna straggle in. I hate that. Okay. There's Tad. What's happening, man? I thought maybe some people might start straggling in once they figure out that Shotgun Dave is live. Oh my God, I haven't been on here in a million years, so I've just been doing other stuff. Been busy. Thanks, Tad. We'll get into that in a minute here if we get any other folks showing up. Otherwise, you guys will get the exclusive. Oh, that's good, Slightly Mad. I'm glad. Glad you're doing well. I know Harry had sort of a little mini showdown yesterday. Had a bunch of the guys over to the house and they raced a bunch of cars. I guess there's been quite a few entries have shown up, so they were doing some testing and they were doing some whooping it up. Harry barbecue bratwurst for everybody. Nice. I wish I could go this year for the winter event, but it's just not in the cards for me this year. I'll have to wait till the summer. I don't really like to travel all the way across country when there's possibility of snow and stuff either, so. Tad, have you used any of those trays I sent you? I'm just curious what you thought of them. So it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of people here today. So they're going to miss out. And that's all right. I was going to clean up the bench and I thought, you guys would probably rather see it in a mess anyways. The mad scientist at work, I suppose. But since I finished my modified, I'm... Oh, really? Oh, good. I know... Tony! Oh, man. Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, I was just commenting on your Ferrari on the board, man. Holy crap! My stuff is garbage next to yours. My God, you got the gated shifter all done by scratch. That's fantastic, Tony. Awesome car, brother. For your sportsman car. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, I'm. This is gonna be my sportsman car. Like I say, I finished the mod, so this is gonna be my sportsman once I get started. Oh, hey, David, how you doing, man? So yeah, it's this is going to be the sportsman car. Obviously, this is the big 125th scale, and that's last on the list for me. I'm more interested in these little cars. So this will be the next one, and then when I'm done, I'll do this. But where did I put it? Oh, it's right there. So yeah, this has kind of become my little thing. Oh, thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. These interior trays. I hate doing interiors on cars, and I know some of you might have seen my video about doing it with the playing card. And it's always been hard to find a driver and a steering wheel, and make a damn roll cage. So that's why I started doing these. I was like, man, I got to make this easier. There's got to be other guys that feel the same way about doing these damn interiors. So so I made it for, and I can't put this in yet because this stupid car has a bunch of interior shit in it that's got to be cut out. But it does fit because I built this in Blender. Um, I've really been learning to use Blender a lot, and it's really helping with a lot of this stuff. You know, it's great to download somebody else's file and print it, but I like this making my own stuff. You know, you guys know me. So, anyways, this car is going to have a theme, and I needed just the right driver, so I made this guy up, and I'm sure you can tell. It's kind of like my little trademark. He's giving everybody the bird. So, yeah, this is going to be again, this isn't something you can get anywhere. I can't go find a driver figure giving you the bird, so I just had to find a figure here and a piece there and cut them up and put them together and make my own dude. So that's where that's going. But I wanted to show, you know, 1/25th scale Monte Carlo. Yeah, I know how that. Yes, Steve, I agree with you 100%. That's been my problem lately as well. Finding the time and then also having the gumption. No, it is a 71 Plymouth Roadrunner. And it's a pretty good file. It's got the chin spoiler on it already. It's got the window. It's supposed to be a NASCAR, so it's got a spoiler on it and everything. So it'll work out good for a sportsman car. I'll hog the wheel wells out real big and yeah. Wait till you guys see it. This is going to be a good one. Yes, I agree, David. Totally awesome to see all these guys jumping in and building. Jeff, hey, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you here. Thanks for wasting a Thursday afternoon with me. So yeah, I developed these because I saw so many guys in the chats who are talking about building, and almost everybody's universal complaint is no interior stuff. It's hard to make a roll cage. Can't find a driver figure. Where do I get a driver figure from? Where do I get a steering wheel from? How do I do this? So I thought, why not put it all in one place? And the only drawback to this is the difficulty of painting. You know, with the driver inside, you know, right up close to the roll bar and whatnot. It's a little challenging, but at least it's all here, and it's kind of a universal fit. You know, here it is. Like I say, 1/25th scale Monte Carlo. It fits perfectly in there. You know, the roll cage lines up pretty well to where you want it, and it sits high enough in to where it doesn't foul the tires. There's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna revise it. I need to make it a little more squat for some other cars. There's quite a few cars out there that don't have the headroom in them, so I'm gonna modify it. But they'll still have this one. For those of you who are even interested, I printed a load of these and sent them to Steve at Slot Car Corner. He has them on the website if any of you want them. They're cheap. He it's a very nominal charge for what he wants for them. So I just figured that was the easiest way to make them available to everybody is send them all to Steve and let him dole them out. They have shipping in place and all that. I just don't have time to run to the post office every day to ship people stuff. So, so like I said, if you want one, they've got them, and he's got them in. This is the modern driver. There's a vintage driver, and then there's also 1/32nd scale sizes. So if you're building one of these, you can put it in there. So just so you know. Yes, you're right, Jeff. Headroom is always an issue. Yeah, I saw that, Tony. I saw that yesterday, that Immense Miniatures is back up and running. I don't know if it's the same person doing it, but they make some beautiful figures. Beautiful. Especially of popular people, Also, again, I don't see. I sent Steve a bunch of driver figures. I know a lot of people, a lot of people really liked my Fairground Freddy guy, and so I printed a bunch of these and sent them to Steve as well. I didn't notice that he has them on the website yet. So, but they are. He does have them. If anyone's interested in one, maybe just email Steve and say, hey, Dave said you had Fairground Freddy, you know, and I'm sure he'll hook you up. Colin in the UK is taking over. Good, that's good. I hate to see those die off. There's a lot of work put into those molds and making those, so I'm glad to see somebody's doing it now. Yeah, slightly mad. Yes, I tried. I'm trying to make it as scale as I could. You know, I wanted you to have as much of the driver visible, but you know, again, try to make it scale. So for the ones that are going to be a little more squatter, I'm going to have to sink the driver a little farther, so that I just need to take 2 or 3 millimeters off the height, so it'll fit in more cars. Oh yeah, cool, Jeff. Also, another thing that I sent um, um, Steve, that I didn't see them on the site yesterday either, but he does have them. Is yeah, Candy Cantaloupes. He also has a few of these. I did modify her. She's more of a pit girl now. Right, this one she has a cell phone. She's taking a selfie, you know. But the ones I sent Steve, she's actually holding a trophy. So you could, you know, paint them up and use them in your photographs of your cars or whatever, you know. But I thought it was a little more useful with a trophy instead of a camera. I thought I had one sitting here. I could show you. And it's just the stupid little things that I like fiddling with, you know. I like making these different weird things. I'm also gonna come out. Nope, I didn't modify that part, Tony. Nope, that part is, I believe she's already modified. But I didn't change that. All I did was give her a trophy instead of a cell phone. So the airbags are still in place. I'm also coming out. It's going to be a little while, but a line of tires. A lot of people who have purchased the hot rod kits that I sent to Steve. Her name is Slightly Mad is Candy Cantaloupes. That's something George came up with. The hot rod kits. I've made tires, scale, Firestone, the old pie crust style tires like were on cars in the 50s, big ones and little ones. And so I'm eventually gonna get enough of those made that I can offer those to people who have these kits or who just want to make an old car. I'm also making I'm making tires. I created a mold. I haven't created the mold yet. I've created the tire on Blender, and oh, good, Tony. Yeah, I have some tires. The problem is they take so long to make tires. Tires, you know, urethane rubber requires at least 24 hours to cure. So I've made a double mold so I can make 8 tires at a time, but it's an overnight process, and then they got to come out. And once they come out, they got to cure for a little longer outside of the mold, and so it's a slow process. So they will eventually be available, just not yet. I just don't have enough to offer. I'd hate for only like one person to get some. Here, let me grab this other thing, and I'll show you this other tire that I'm doing. This is going to be the next thing. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Um, these the modifieds and the sportsman cars for the showdown. It's a spec tire. It's a I'm horrible at numbers. It's a Paul Gage tire with the suffix FF for fat fuckers, and the 10-inch or the 10 millimeter wheel. Hey Joe, nice to see you. Thanks, man. So me and my infinite wisdom, like a ding dong, I say I went on Blender and I've made these tires. These are the tires. They're just obviously resin printed right now, and I know you can't really see them on there. There's raised letters. So for the NASCARs, got the proper size for the NASCARs with the raised letters, Goodyear Eagle. And then for these modifieds and sportsman cars, we've got it's again. I know you can't see it. The old Hoosier tires. So what I did was I painted a couple. It's the same tire as those, but yeah, I just painted them black so they looked like the rubber. And I don't know if you can see it, but then you can go back. Dang it, you can see it. Hoosier. And so these again, just to dress these models up, but these are the same size. They fit on the same wheel. They're set. And then this would be the Goodyears. Makes it a lot easier. You don't have to get decals. You can just use one of those little white paint pens. So these are coming. It's going to be a while, but they're coming. I got to make the mold and all that. So I'll keep you guys all in the loop. I'll let you know if anybody's interested, and we'll go from there. Nobody may even want the things. Who knows? Yeah, Joe, I did. I printed these tires. I made them in Blender, and then I printed them. Of course, they're resin. They're no good for anything. They'd be great for, these would be great for like on the track or something. But no, I'll be using these to make the mold with, just like I did with the hot rod tires. Which, by the way, Joe, I still got to send you some hot rod tires. Will do, Tony. Like I said, I'll keep everybody in the loop. I'll let everybody know once I get things rolling. We're probably just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make them a bunch and send them to Steve and let him be the distributor of them so I don't have to mess around with it. Post office is a long way from here, and I don't want people to have to wait for shipping because I would have to wait till I had a whole bunch of stuff and take it. And yeah, it's a pain. That's why I just decided I'll just send all this stuff to Steve and let him dole it out to everybody. But yeah, so that's my modified. You guys saw the pictures. It's just I don't know if get it up there. Yeah. It's all chassis, all brass. I think that it's Slot Invasion Guide, I think. Or, yeah, is it Slot Invasion or Slotting Plus? I can't remember. Paul Gage tires. Well, yeah, Paul Gage tires. Everything on here, this whole car is basically 3D. The body, 3D printed. And it was a body I found, a file that really didn't suit our needs. It was basically came all in pieces, so I had to put it all together. And originally it has a hood and grill and everything, so I eliminated that because who needs that on a modified, right? And then I had to add a firewall to it, so I had to make a firewall in Blender and do a few other little modifications to the body to make it, work for what we're doing. Oh, thank you, Steve. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Tequila Sunrise. Somebody else said creamsicle. I think Michael said creamsicle. Oh, thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. Yeah, that whole Ratfink thing. You guys, my clock up there. The Outlaw, the car that Ratfink is driving, Ed Roth's creation. That's what that paint job is on the midget. it's basically a recreation of the Outlaw paint job. So thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. So yeah, so this is all 3D printed stuff. The engine, again, that engine, it's a small block Chevy that I made from several different things I found around on the internet, and I put them all together, and I made this engine, and I printed it all as one with the pipes and everything. I made the pipes on it, so again, it's one stop. It's just boom. The radiator, nobody has. Where are you going to find a radiator for these damn cars? I have a mold that I used to make radiators years ago, but this is so much easier. I just went on Blender and I created a radiator, and it's just the right size, works perfect. Same with my interior. I needed a sedan interior, so I sort of cut up Fairground Freddy. It's all printed as one piece. There's even a fuel cell, and it's even got the fuel lines and stuff on it. This is what I'm really finding fascinating about all this 3D printing stuff. I can make anything I want. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, that just came by accident. I forget who started it last year with the Mario car, and we all thought, man, these themed cars are great. So it's sort of become the dominant. I didn't even build a regular midget this year. All I built was the themed one. So it seems like that's the way it's going to go. Even the wheel inserts, 3D printed. Really sharpens up the models, I think. Before making my models, I had to make everything. I had to make everything for these cars. Everything is by hand. I mean, a body, a driver figure, the engines, all of this stuff, headlights. I had to make all this crap. And it's worth it. It's totally worth it, but this just makes it a little level higher and much sharper. I know you can't even see it. It's so small in there, but the driver, he's even got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. All this stuff. Where before, like this dude's got a cigarette out. That's kind of my signature. He's got a cigarette too, but I had to make that out of wire. And oh man, it's a pain. So now I just draw it up in Blender and print it. And now, boom. So I'm looking forward to that one going to Harry's to see how it performs. But yeah, Tony, absolutely. I totally agree. I take it's as much fun to me building as it is, but you're right, when it's all done, like yesterday, when this was all done, and I'm going, it's done. And it came out so good, I'm not bragging or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's very gratifying to make something and have it turn out the way you want it. Yep, you're exactly right, Slightly Mad. Your imagination is your only limit. That's the only thing that's holding you back. Well, that and learning how to use a new computer program. I am not computer savvy in any way, shape, or form. So that Blender thing, really, boy, it's still. I've barely scratched the surface. It's like CAD. You should, Jeff. Yeah, you should. I will say one thing. We've sort of all touched on it, okay, a little bit, but we shouldn't just gloss over it. The safety factor of using these resin printers. A week ago, for 2 weeks, I was laid up, and that's because I was printing a lot of stuff, trying to get it done to send it to Steve, and my printer was going 24/7, so I was a little laxed on my safety, my PPE, personal protective equipment, whatever you want to call it. And I had my hands in the resin a little bit, and I got it on me, and bad. I became sensitized to the resin, and I literally broke out from the bottom of my chin. My entire body down to my knees was covered. My wife, we thought I had somehow contracted the smallpox. I mean, truly, or something, or measles. It looked, it was horrible. Big, covered in these red welts, and they burned, and it itched, and it was freaking horrible. So it went to the doctor, and he said, nope, you don't have the measles. No, nobody could figure it out. Well, we figured it out on our own, that it was a massive allergic reaction to the resin. So listen to Uncle Dave, and if you're going to do this stuff, wear gloves, wear long sleeves, wear a mask. This shit is... I spent my whole life painting cars with the most horrible stuff there is, isocyanates and things like that. I should know better. So I'm just passing that along to you guys. I'm not going to preach it, but you really need to really, really, really be safe with it. Oh, good, David. That'd be great. Get a printer, man. Start printing. Yeah, right, Tony. You're right. Absolutely. Old school painter. You know, when I first started painting, when I was 18, 19 years old, we were still using lacquer, and modified enamel was just coming into being the hot new ticket, right? So we started to switch to the enamels with an activator, and that stuff was all okay. I could paint without a mask on. Jesus, I can't even tell you how many cars I painted with a bottle of Jack Daniels in one hand and a cigarette hanging out of the other. We never thought about it. Well, then when the switch started to go towards all of the urethanes and all this isocyanate based stuff, yeah, I had the same thing happen to me, and that's what made me think about it. Is all of a sudden I went from this stuff doesn't bother me at all to, oh my God, I'm sick. So you got to be careful. And then of course we started with the cartridge respirators and gloves, and we wore paint suits all the time, and all that went away. So it's the same thing with the resin. Once it's cured, it's fine. You know, there's no problem. But the liquid resin, nasty shit. Yep, you're absolutely right, Slightly Mad. Jeff, my machines are outside. Now, I'm going to say, when I first started with all this printing stuff, my printers were right here in the house. Within a matter of a day, we knew that was a bad idea. The odor was horrendous. So out it went. And I have a closet outside where our water heater is. That's all ventilated and everything else. So I built a cabinet in there, and I put all the printing stuff out there. All the resin, nothing's in the house. It's all outside, and it's all ventilated, and it's all safe. There's even a CO2 or a carbon monoxide filter in there, and a what do you call it? Like a fire alarm, but it's for carbon monoxide. So I'm not worried. Everything's outside. So yeah, don't do stupid shit like me and have that crap in your house. It's not worth it. Can't do it. So yeah. So there's your lesson for the day. Don't be stupid like me. Nope, they sure aren't, Chris. Hey, Chris, I didn't see you sneak in. But yeah, the fumes are not good. They're horrible. They'll make you just as sick as having it on your body. There's no doubt. Learned it the hard way. So yeah, you gotta be careful. But yeah, so that's really all I got going on. These are all my projects right now. I do have this hot rod project over here that I started on, and I was trying to build that and make a video for the guys who bought these kits so they could see how to put them together. But yeah, I got all these cars that got to go to Home Racing World, so I got to get this done. It's coming up to January 20th, so I got a little over a month. Got to get these things done and in the mail. Yeah, it is, David. Yeah, it is. At least the resin, the liquid resin. I don't know about the filament style. I doubt it's toxic like this, but yeah, we started researching. And you look all over the internet, and there's all these people talking about it, and lots of them having the same experience that I had, that they got really sick and broke out and everything like that. It was so bad, my wife said my hands looked like a pair of rubber gloves stuffed full of walnuts. If you can imagine what that looks like. My hands were covered in these wet, red welts, and they were just aggravating my nerve endings. I literally couldn't touch my phone. I couldn't. Oh God, it was terrible. I sat on the couch for almost 2 weeks, and we tried every cream and lotion and everything else. And the doctor, I ended up having to take an antihistamine, a really powerful one, and a really powerful steroid for a week to get rid of it, to make it go away. So, like I said, be careful with it. You guys do it. It's fun. Just do it right. Tony, okay, yes, the modifieds are a specific class, and this is just one example. In fact, if you do do a Google search for dirt modified, you'll get all kinds of holy mackerel, the stuff these guys have chopped up to make modified cars on. That's why they're called modified. The only thing on them that's even basically remotely a car is they've taken a body of some kind and chopped it up and put it on their chassis. But it's yeah. Now this one, that's just a pure hot rod. It's it's a 32 or that was a Model A Ford. Just like we had when we were kids. Yep, that's it, David. It's the same thing, really. It's photopolymer resin. That's exactly what this stuff is. So you already know. But yeah, Tony. So the modified, I just happen to like the early Ford stuff. You could take. I don't know if you guys remember my car from last year, the Chevelle that I did. It was kind of the same as the orange and white. That was a modified. It was basically. They cut the front end off of the car, so all you're using is the rear half, and opened them all up. It didn't even hardly look like a Chevy Chevelle anymore. Man, I can't believe they put all that stuff in here. This body is full of. It's got door panels and whatnot in it. I don't know if you can see all that. It's all got to come out of there. Patriot, how you doing, man? Oh yeah, thanks, Tony. Again, that's just my leaning. That's the way I lean towards this look. That's what I did last year. I took something out of my wheelhouse and did it, and it was fun. That's the one I think we gave it away. Oh, that's right, Steve. You have it. Yeah, you won. You've got it. That's right. So that's a modified. It's just a chassis with what's left of a real car body plastered on top of it. That's all a modified is. I totally forgot that you won that, Steve. That's cool. I'm glad to know that it still gets used. It's like most of my cars are at Harry's. I go there and I build these new cars and they go there and then they just stay there. I don't have a permanent track here, so it's just easier. I just leave them with Harry and he can play with them, and they're there when I get there. I did ask him to take one of my cars. Okay, Tad. I imagine you're probably busy with the dogs. Yep. Thanks, brother. I asked Harry to send Marty one of my cars that's there that runs really well to do Marty's challenge with. So I hope it should get there today or tomorrow, I hope. And then we'll see how it goes on Marty's new oval. That should be fun. Got to dethrone George. George built a pretty fast car, but I'm coming for him. But yeah, so that was all I wanted to do. I just wanted to sort of talk to you guys about this stuff and let you know that if you're building these cars and you need this stuff, Slot Car Corner has it now. You know, I finally got an order together. And they have the interiors and they have some driver figures, and I don't know if they have any more of the hot rod kits. I made them a bunch. Yeah, it sure is slightly mad. Marty's oval is very cool. Very similar to the one I had. You know, Marty made his 6 feet wide, 5 feet wide. Damn it. 5 feet wide. Anyways, very similar to my old wood oval, except Marty's a couple feet shorter than what I made. But I like it wider. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, like Harry and George's tracks are fun, and they're, oh my God, the racing is phenomenal on there. I just like it a little bit wider. I like the more sweepy turns. So I went a foot wider than everybody else. Yeah, he is, Jeff. Marty's been sending me videos right and left. He's texting me of, you know, especially like Dusty comes over, and a couple of their buddies are over there too, and they're just oval racing, oval racing, oval racing. It's awesome. Hey, no worries, Steve. Thank you. I appreciate you too, man. Yep, you're right, Tony. You can. You can see it in his eyes. He's got the spark. It's been lit, which is something I tell everybody. I have seen so many people online say, oval racing's boring, you know, whatever. You know what? They're wrong. And yeah, okay, you're driving around in an oval, big deal. But it's a totally different kind of racing than you do on a road course. You know, usually the road course racing is pretty spread out and all that. It's not like that on an oval. You guys it's neck and neck, doing battle. You got 2, 3, 4 cars lined up, banging into each other. Yeah, it is definitely a serious race. So anybody tells you oval racing's boring, they've never done it, or they're stupid. Yep, that's good. I hope so. I know Marty's building cars now. He's got a couple things in the works that he's working on. So, no, it's good. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted to do, is get other people interested in it. And you know, the last few years has been a huge explosion of guys building for the showdown at Harry's. And you know, I remember going there years ago, and there was maybe 8 or 10 cars, 12 at the most, you know. Now, Christ, you go there, there's 50 cars. 50 cars. It takes us, you know, an entire day. It takes 4 of us an entire day to run all those cars. 50 cars. It's mind-boggling to me. And it's fantastic. I hope it continues. I hope everybody sticks with it. I hope that they liked it and that they continue to do it. It's good for all of us. Everybody, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff here lately too of everybody wanting to know, how do we grow the hobby? How do we grow the hobby? How do we grow the hobby? You know, you're not going to get young kids interested in this. I mean, really. Yeah, I hear that all the time. Well, we got to get the young guys in. I don't believe that. The young people are not interested in this. There are a few. And it's great if you have children or grandchildren that you're doing that. But like me, my son has been around this his entire life, and he could give a crap about it. He's not interested. Even when we had, you know, when I had my house and we had 2 huge wood tracks for him to go out and play on, never really wanted to do it. Just didn't interest him. If it doesn't have a screen or a VR headset, he could care less. And that's how most young people are. But we can get, when I say young people now, it's like millennial aged guys and girls. When they see this stuff, I think they're a little bit more intrigued with it. And this is how we get them interested. They stumble across us, and we're promoting all this building. And so it's not just buying the slot cars and going and racing them. It's you have your heart and soul mixed into this thing. You've built it with your own hands. You've created it out of your own mind, and now you get to watch it run around on a track. This is how you're going to get people into the hobby. This is how you're going to keep people interested. Anybody can go down and buy the latest whiz bang, slot car for $100, put it on the track, and by the end of the day, you're bored with it. And I've seen it. Everybody's got to have the newest one, and then it's on the shelf and on to the next one. I've got a whole shelf full of brand new slot cars up there. But guess what? These get used all the time. This is what keeps your interest. So, how are we going to get people involved? Show them this. Show them how to build a car. Show them that they can use their brain to do something with, not just open their wallet to go buy a new car. That's how. It's my opinion. Just my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think so. Hey, you too, Steve. Stay well, my friend. And thanks for popping in here. So, like I said, I'm sorry I went off on a rant there. But it's just my observation. I see, look at here you guys all are in the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday, and we're talking about scratch building. And I could sit here and go on all freaking day. I'd bore you guys to tears. But this is where it's at. This is the future of slot cars. Not the latest Skeletric or the latest, Carrera or the latest whatever. That's not the future. Thanks, Tony. Yep, I plan to. I have said it already. I could go without ever buying another factory slot car. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. I go to Harry's. We play with them. I drag a couple of mine with me. We tune them. We run them. They're fun. The tuning and all that stuff. It's great. But this is where it is for me. This is why I got into slot cars. This right here. Not because I didn't know which were good or whatever. Hell, when I first got back into slot cars 15 years ago, whatever it was, hell, I was buying those piece of shit Monogram Rebel cars. They're beautiful, but they're junk. They ran like hell. You had to spend another $50-$60 to make them work. And I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I want to create, My whole life has been spent building real cars and doing that kind of stuff. And when I couldn't do that anymore, I needed that creative outlet where I could still create and still be a car guy. And that's what this is. Good, Jeff. This is how a bench should look. If your bench is totally neat and tidy, you're not doing enough work. Oh, cool, David. That's cool. Got me at work with you. Yeah. What is it? Oh man, I don't even know how far ahead you guys are over there. All I know is I think it's tomorrow over there right now, isn't it? Oh, that's good, Slightly Mad. Yeah, I'm not saying that no young people are involved are interested, because there are some, but for the vast majority, even my son, he brings all of his kid friends over here. We just had him here a few weeks ago for my son's birthday, and I got all my slot car stuff out, and they have a vague interest. Oh, what are you doing there, Mr. Gorley? Oh, cool. Off to go play VR. Yeah, they don't care. Hey, Harry, how's it going, man? Yep, see, I told you, David, it's tomorrow in Australia right now. So what are you up to, Harry? Hey, I know. Okay. I want to show you guys something. And because Harry's on here. Harry's going to be interested in this, I think. I really think Harry's going to be interested in this. So, my son, as we talk about the kids, right? My son's interested in RC a little bit. We have a couple of RC rock crawlers, and he played with them for a little while, and then he was over it. So I decided I'm very interested in World War II history and all of the stuff that goes along with World War II. I the airplanes, the tanks. I spent a lot of time. I worked. If you guys don't know about, if you ever heard of Chino Airport, it's kind of like the hotbed of World War II warbird activity. I worked at Chino Airport for a long time. I painted airplanes there. As a matter of fact, you guys over there in Australia, there's an airplane in Australia that I painted here. It's a boomerang. At the time, it was the only flyable boomerang in existence, and I painted it, and it went over there to a museum. It's still there. But I'm very much into World War II machinery. So my son says, "Dad, what about tanks?" And I said, "Oh yeah, tanks." So I won't show you these guys here. We'll get these out of here. But I started printing a tank. This took me several weeks just to get these parts together, and I still got a long way to go. But we're gonna build an RC 1/16 scale Panzer I. So that's what's in this box right here. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. So this is on the back burner. This is a do it when I feel like it project. Yes, Tony, I sure would. I would love to see all the stuff that's there. So what do you think, Harry? RC tank. We could bring it over to your place and we could run it on your indoor rock crawler deal. So anyways, just another facet of the hobby, I suppose, as far as 3D printing. There's so many things we can do with it. But I've found several things that I want to print and turn into an RC. So it's slot cars is my number one and my first love, but stuff like that, it's kind of pulls my interest sometimes, so I got to do that and mess with it too. Plus my son likes it, so if I can get him interested in doing this, something other than fooling around with a screen of some sort. Yeah, I imagine so, Harry, over there. A lot of World War II history in that area, so. Oh, really? Slightly mad? So you fool around with the RC tanks? Yeah, this is the Panzer I I can't pronounce, I don't speak German. So OS F. There was a very few of them made. Less than, I think it was like 1,300 tanks were made, and they didn't work. I mean, they worked well, but not for the role they were designed. I did went down the rabbit hole of the history of the tank, and it doesn't have a gun. It's a machine gun tank. So they ended up using them for anti-insurgency and things like that because they weren't very good as a frontline tank. So, but I don't know. It was interesting to me, so that's where I went. So that's that. I thought you guys might like that. But yeah, I don't know how long have we been on here. You guys probably got work to do and stuff. So yeah. So the next one is going to be the Roadrunner. I'm going to start hacking on it this afternoon. I need to reprint this. It's hard to see it. I know. One hand is missing, and it's because stupid me. I didn't. Well, in fact, that arm's not very good either. I didn't put enough support to hold it. It's too delicate. So I'll start over. Oh yeah, that'd be great, Tony. I've been watching quite a few of these from RC World, where to have these gatherings, kind of like what we do. Like we go to Harry's, right? We have our weekend where we bring all of our cars and we race on the track. These guys do the same thing with their RC tanks and World War II vehicles. They literally have this like a town made in 1/16 scale, and there's all these guys there with their tanks and their jeeps and their Kuba wagons and all this stuff, and they're driving around in this town and they're recreating battles. Man, it just looks so much fun. It really does. Yeah, I would love to see that. So, thanks, Harry. Appreciate that. I've been watching what you're doing too, man, with your 125th scale RC crawler stuff. That your 2-in-1 track where you got the slot car track, and now you're building the little plots to stick on top so you can use it for either or. That's really cool. That's a great idea, man. Good way to incorporate both of your hobbies into one space. That's awesome. Very cool indeed. What's up, Aid? So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. How long have we been on? An hour? Yeah. So this is gonna get tested. Might set up the track tomorrow. Run some laps with this thing. If I do, maybe I'll set up the camera. You guys can watch if you're interested. Want to see it crash. Hopefully I wired it correctly. God, I don't know why I do that almost every time, man. I get the wires backwards. You think I'd know by now, right? Put it on the track, pull the trigger, and it goes backwards. What a dummy. But we've switched over all of the cars now to these Predator 20,500 RPM motors, and it's really woke these up. They have better brakes, and they a lot of low end torque. Really good for oval racing. Hey, Fred. I don't know how many people are on because when I'm using it here on my computer, it doesn't tell me how many people are on there. That's all right. It's all good. You didn't miss much. We just been yakking, talking about 3D junk. But yeah, so what time is it? It is almost 12:30. I'm gonna have to go get ready to go pick my son up from school in a little bit. There's 11 people. Thanks, David. Yes, Jeff. For me, that was the number one thing I like about those motors is the brakes. Some of these cars we build are so heavy, and you go into the corner and let off, and it just keeps on rolling, even with the brakes on full. Yeah, I needed better brakes, so I was really glad that we did a little testing last time we were at Harry's and decided this was a much better way to go. Oh, mercy. So, guys, I guess we'll call it done. I'll go get my stuff together, go pick Donovan up from school, and maybe tomorrow, if I get the track set up, we'll run the modified, and I'll go live again, so you guys can all see it. Right, Jeff, exactly. You can't get them over there, Tony? No, I guess not, huh? I sent I sent Dave. I sent Slot R one or two. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did, anyways. I don't know if he's done anything with them yet. Thanks, Slightly Mad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been out of it for a while, and I don't know. I just I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? There's so many people doing live streams now and all that, and sometimes I just feel like I get lost in the mix. So I just sort of backed off, and I just was doing my thing. I had some things going on, and so I thought, well, I need to get back to it, and I'm going to. And I want to become a little bit more focused on things. I want to focus a lot more on building stuff and maybe showing people how to build. I'm terrible at making videos. My videos are horrible, and it's okay. You guys can tell me they suck. But the live streams are a lot easier for me. And the good thing about them is that they're recorded. So if anybody wants to, they can go back and rewatch. Well, I'm a lot better at just sitting here and telling you how to do something and showing you things than I am at starting and stopping the camera and trying to remember where I'm at and what I'm doing and then piecing it all together to where it makes some kind of coherent sense. So, I don't know. We'll see. Thanks, Tony. You will. I thank you, David. Yes. And yeah, Abe, thanks, man. Don't worry about being on time. This was totally impromptu. I just literally turned on the thing and went, let's just go for it. So, thanks, Andy Rubin. I appreciate that. I don't know if it's Andy or Rubin that's on, but I'll be more. I'll do it more. You know, I was laughing at George yesterday. He did 3 live streams in the span of a few hours. And I was going, yeah, I need to get back. I just need to start showing you guys how to do stuff. I'm gonna make an order today with Slot Car Corner because I am out of just about everything again. So I'll get some stuff here, start building some cars, and showing you guys how to do stuff, and we'll get back to it. So sorry for my absence, but thanks for making me feel welcomed. Appreciate it. Appreciate all that, you guys. So anyway, boys, like I say, I gotta go get ready, go get my boy, and you guys have a great day. Well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow when I'll run this car, and we'll go from there. So talk to you all later, guys. Thanks, David. Will do. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.